Good morning, it's Ben Jones with Batter from Bronson Coffee Roasters again. It's Monday morning, 22nd of June in the year 2020. We're going to try to have some fun today that we weren't able to have on Friday. If you tuned in Friday, I tried making the vacuum pot, a little siphon brewing, and I ran out of butane. So I was like, hey, we got to make up for this. Let's do something fun on Monday. Sticking with the theme of things go wrong, what would we do if we didn't have any proper tools to brew coffee? I do have a bunch of fun stuff, because I'm here in the workshop. Let's see what we can do with this. So, paper cup. All we need to make coffee is, we talked before, some way to contain ground coffee and water together in a solution to allow the flavors to extract out of those little ground coffee particles. And then we need some way to separate those grounds from the beverage because we want to drink the liquid and not chew on the crunchy bits. So here's my proposal. I'm going to take the paper cup and I'm going to poke a whole bunch of holes into the bottom so that we can put our coffee grounds, 19 grams, because I like to make a solid cup at a time. And then we'll put our hot water right on top of that. General concept right there. I'm going to be poking inward, hoping that the paper that gets pushed up and displaces is going to act sort of as a filter to hold grounds from falling in. But it's going to happen a little bit, and I really want to try to reduce that. So I'm going to add a second, smaller paper cup to the bottom of this, and I'm going to poke holes in the sides to allow our coffee to drain out as the coffee drips down and rises. Hopefully then any grounds that land in there will get isolated on the bottom. So that's the loose concept. I haven't tried this at all yet. I thought I would really try to experiment with everybody today. So let's try this out. This is an 8-ounce paper cup. And remember these little guys? Just going to take that and we're just going to poke some holes. 6 little holes in there, only because I don't want too much water to flow through too quickly. Nice. Let's take another little cup. This is a smaller one. We have a 4-ounce cup, and that fits over the bottom of this. I want to line my seams up just so that I don't have to worry about where those fall. And I'm going to poke inward. These will be our drain holes for hopefully to filter out any of the particles that, coffee grounds that might have leaked their way through. Hopefully this will prevent too many of those from coming down into our beverage. We've all had coffee once in a while where some grounds got into it, and it's not super awesome. All right, so that'll set like that. And just to be safe, I'm going to take some blue tape for my blue cups, and I'm just going to tape that on there. All right, it's Monday morning arts and crafts. All right, so we have holes in the bottom. We'll put our coffee and water in there, and we will try to let our coffee come out through the side here. I want to let y'all see what's happening, so we're going to brew into a glass cup, but that drops a little too far in. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to put a hole in the side here, and then a hole 90 degrees the other side. Right there. Try to ream that out nice and good. And let's put our trusty toothpick, or not toothpick, chopstick right through this. Better open up this side a little bit more. So this is gonna, hopefully, we'll be able to use this to suspend. If I can get that to go through. And from that side, let's try going from this side. Stabbing in the dark here. All right. Oops, I poked that too high. It's going through the wrong spot. Let's do a little mend on that real quick. All right. Just for kicks, let's put that there. All right, let's try this again, a little bit lower this time. All right, so this, again, the theory, the basic idea here is let's put our coffee and hot water together into the same little chamber, let them sit and soak. As long as the coffee is touching hot water, it's going to be giving up flavors. There we are. That'll work. Let's take it. All right. So as long as these grounds are touching the water, it'll give up flavors. And I don't know if you can see on there, I ground this the coarsest I could get it. Knowing that I didn't have any proper filtration, wasn't using any paper filters or a fine metal mesh, I needed to get those chunks as big as I could. So we'll take 19 grams in here. We now have a bed of grounds suspended over our improvised filter. Awesome. Using the large chunks, they're gonna need a longer contact time because the flavors move out of the big chunks so slowly. Quick reference, my coffee today, I'm a sucker for coffees out of Colombia, so I'm still using our Colombia Las Brisas just because I like it. And yes, I could add across another chopstick going the other way, but that took me longer than I wanted to, so I'm just gonna roll like this. All right, so from here, we do have holes, so I wanna do a bloom. Gonna add a bit of water and let that set and soak for a moment. Get some bloom going on. Get my timer running. All right. So this is an 8-ounce cup, so let's give it a little bit of time to bloom. And then see if I can move this a little bit closer to y'all. And see if I can tilt that down a little bit. There we go, now you can see it. All right, so we're 30 seconds in, and I'm just going to break that up. I can hear some water dribbling down. Let's go and just get a bunch in there. Move that water around. Break up all those dark spots in there. I'm just gonna go and fill that 8-ounce cup near to the top. Large grounds, flow restriction due to the small holes. That was nice and smooth. Don't look at that part. The cross chopstick would have been a really good idea. All right. Let's see if we can get that going through. Let's get a little more in there. And let's let that brew and brew. All right. So conceptually, we have near full immersion right here. Full immersion is a really great way to brew because without the water flooding through, you have a lot of stability and control. An example of a full immersion brew is the French press. All the coffee, all the water are just sitting together. There's no water moving unless you stir it. It's a real easy way to do that. I'm wondering if we're not getting any drip through because we might have created like a little vacuum or something in there. So I'm going to see if I can't adjust that a little bit. You know, it's the pouring water effect through when you're trying to pour out like a gallon jug of milk or something, not that you pour a gallon of milk. When you're pouring water out of like a 2-liter soda bottle or water out of a jug, get that glug, glug, glug effect. That's because the air has to go in to let the water come out. So I'm wondering if I just pinched it off a little bit too much here. So I'm just gonna open that up. Maybe my holes down below weren't big enough. We're 3 minutes into this, which means with that grind size, we're getting close to a pretty okay extraction time. I want to hit probably 4 minutes, a little better than 4 minutes on this, for sure. Y'all are rad for hanging out and watching me make messes of myself. It's really hot and I don't want to, you know, do that thing onto myself. Let's see, let's pull out the chopstick, see if that'll let us do anything. Lower that down. We're gonna try something else here, more improv. When things don't go the way you want them to, we'll just improvise some more. All right, put a few more holes in there. And my bed of grounds. I'm really curious why it didn't want to dribble in. Unless we're getting a very slow drip in there. This is kind of cool, kind of fun. Learning opportunities here. There's some grounds. I think I was a little bit too aggressive with shrinking the size of my drip throughs. I think if I try this again, I'll make some little bit bigger holes. Get a little bit more flow going through there. Because even with this one where I got pretty aggressive and stabbed a lot of holes, I'm not getting much drainage. Now, one of the benefits though of pouring the coffee out of here, so we have grounds in the bottom. If I pour like this, most of the grounds will stay low, so I can kind of siphon off effectively and leave the grounds in the cup. So, what did we learn today? We learned that I should probably experiment before I experiment on a video. But this is kind of the fun of it. Proof of concept needs some work. If I had to do this again using just some cups, I would go ahead and forego the stabbing of the bottom, and I would just let all my grounds steep in a cup and then slowly pour them off. Much more akin to cowboy coffee, like if you were camping, where you just, you know, slowly skim off the top, let all the grounds sink to the bottom. But as they say, the proof is in the cup. So let's pour that in there. I don't have very high hopes. But let's see. If I find that there is some flavor, then that means we can tweak how much flavor we pull out based on, you know, time and grind size. It's not an awful cup of coffee. I know this coffee, I know the potential it has, and this wasn't the best idea. This was a good idea. Let's do this again sometime where we just steep some grounds in the cup and pour it off. That'll work a lot better. But I'm going to play with this some more and try to figure out how to get it to do. Keeping in mind that everything that we brewed with was just paper cups. I used some tape and a chopstick. If you have filters, there's a lot of stuff we can do to kind of make things a little bit easier. Yeah, this is cool stuff. So we have some friends joining us. Tia, good morning. How are you? How's everything down here? Nice and sunny, I believe. Go catch a big fish for us. Yeah, so brewing. The tools and the toys make it real easy. In a pinch, we can get crazy. I think I made it a little bit too complicated. All right. So it's Monday. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you need some coffees to experiment with, check out batdorfcoffee.com. We've got a wide range and selection of coffees. I would always recommend that Columbia. Big fan of it. Dancing Goats. Often we refer to it as the crowd pleaser. It's just a good cup of coffee. It'll hit the flavor palettes for everyone. Free shipping when you purchase $30 or more. That's a nice deal. Nobody likes to pay for shipping, but it's important. All right. I'm going to sit. I'm going to enjoy this. Profile-wise, it's very similar to French press. It has that body. It has a little bit of that grit, the fine particles. I'm surprised I didn't get very many large chunks in there. The flavor is a little underdeveloped, so next time I'll give it a little bit more contact time before I pour it out. Thank you for watching and learning. Speaking of watch and learn, when you visit our website, go ahead and in the coupon code and the discount code at the checkout, one word, watch and learn 10. That's the number 10, 10. That'll get you an automatic 10% off, just as our way of saying thank you for joining us on our live broadcasts. Everybody go out, have a good week, do some good in your community. Appreciate y'all.